Hi everyone, I'm Dodo from Susan's family. Today I'm bringing you a new design, water ripple cardigan. This cardigan comes in two sizes. And the making method is roughly the same. All pieces are divided into left and right front bodies, back body, sleeves, and joining together, front band, cuffs and buttons. Start by crocheting the left and right front bodies, back body, and sleeves separately. After completing them, join the corresponding sections together. Then pick up stitches along the corresponding edges to crochet the front band and cuffs. Finally, sew on the buttons. Let's begin with the right front piece. Remember, the left and right here are based on the actual wearing position. It's divided into section 1 and section 2. Start with section 1 of the body piece. We will start from foundation chain. Work back and forth in rows. You'll need to switch colors during the process. Several crochet stitches will be applicated, all clearly marked in the chart, so I won't go through each one individually. From now on, I'll demonstrate using the small size as an example. For larger sizes, any differences will be explained separately. You can learn the method first, then follow the chart to crochet. Now let me demonstrate the specific crocheting method. It should be noted that, due to different hand tension for each person, the size of the fabric piece will vary. Before starting the main work, you can make a gauge swatch to measure your crochet tension. The specific method for working the swatch, you can first refer to the demonstration of the right front stitch pattern, then crochet following the chart. After completing, measure the dimensions. If they're close enough, you can begin crocheting the actual piece. If there's a significant difference, you'll need to adjust your hand tension, or switch to a different hook size. Then start a new foundation chain, and make another gauge swatch. Only after reaching the required size should you begin the main crocheting. Note that one of the yarns used in this product is special. It's not easy to unravel, so everyone can learn first, and then crochet using the original yarns later. Also note that one of the yarns is a variegated yarn, which actually has multiple color segments. Depending on where you start in the color sequence, the final product will look different. You can refer to the finished product, or choose according to your preference, starting with the desired color section of the variegated yarn. To make it easier to watch, I'll use cotton yarn for the demonstration from now on, and the colors will be random, for specific yarn, color schemes and hook sizes. Please refer to the detail page of our product and the paper instructions. Take the corresponding color of yarn. First, make a foundation chain. Start by making one knot. Then begin to crochet chain stitches. Don't crochet the starting chain too tight. The swatch has fewer stitches. After completing the chain, check the stitch count. One braid counts as one stitch. The loop on your hook is not counted in the stitch count. Start crocheting the first row. Make one beginning chain to start. Then count from the left side of the hook to the second chain stitch. Insert your hook into the front loop of that chain and work one single crochet. Next, insert into the front loop of the next left chain, and work one single crochet. For this entire row, pick up the front loops of the foundation chains and crochet. After completing the single crochet, make one chain as a transition. Skip one chain below. Work one half double crochet into the next stitch. One chain. Skip one stitch. Work one double crochet into the next stitch. Then work one chain. Skip one stitch. After each stitch from now on, after making the transition chain, skip 1 chain and leave it unworked. Next, work 1 treble crochet into the following stitch. Yarn over the hook twice and insert into the stitch. Yarn over and draw the yarn through. There are 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat 3 times. 1, 2, 3. 1 treble crochet is completed. Chain 1. Work 1 treble crochet. Yarn over the hook twice and insert into the stitch. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat 3 times. Treble crochet is complete. Then chain 1. Skip 1 stitch and work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. 1 half double crochet and 1 single crochet. Make 1 chain as a bridge between each. After completing, chain 1. We'll consider the stitches worked after the first single crochet as one group. Continue downward using this group method. Refer to the chart for crocheting. When finishing, after the last chain is done, skip 1 stitch. Work 1 single crochet in each of the remaining 2 chains. This completes the first row. For the next row, switch colors. Chain 1 to secure. Cut the yarn, leaving a 5 cm tail. The right side has clear texture. The wrong side has blurry texture. We'll take the right side of the first row as the right side of the entire piece. That is, the side with the starting yarn tail on the left-hand side. Move on to crochet the second row. Take the corresponding yarn. Join the yarn in the first single crochet stitch of the first row. Make a slip knot first. Then pull through. Adjust the loop size. Joining the yarn is complete. Make 1 beginning chain to start. The turning chain of single crochet doesn't count as 1 stitch. Single crochet in the joining position. You can weave in the tail as you go. After completing, single crochet in the left stitch. Then work a single crochet in the left side chain space. Down this row. Single crochet in each stitch and chain space accordingly. Complete this entire row. After finishing the last single crochet, do not fasten off the yarn. Row 2 is now complete. Continue to row 3. Make 1 beginning chain to start, then turn the work. Make a single crochet increase in the first stitch, which means 2 single crochets into the same stitch. Note that after turning, the stitch is located at the top left. Single crochet increase completed. Next, work a single crochet in the left stitch. Down this row, work single crochets into each stitch below, one by one. Complete this entire row. After finishing the last single crochet, row 3 is now complete. Change color for the next row. Chain 1, cut the yarn. Now start row 4. First, turn your work. Join the yarn in the last single crochet stitch of the previous row. Make 4 chain stitches, which serve as the turning chain for the treble crochet. This counts as 1 treble crochet, matched to the stitch below. Then work a treble crochet in the left stitch. One chain. Skip 1 stitch. Work 1 double crochet in the next stitch. 1 chain. Continue crocheting following the chart. Pay attention, after completing each stitch, make 1 chain space, and skip 1 stitch below. Refer to the pattern for your work. Pay attention and make sure the ending stitches match the chart correctly. Once the last treble crochet is complete, row 4 is now complete. Now work row 5. Chain 3 first, as the turning chains for the double crochet. Counts as 1 double crochet, corresponds to the stitch below. Then turn your work. And chain 1 as a bridge. Then skip the chain space below. Work 1 treble crochet in the left stitch. One chain. From this row onward, work into the stitches of the previous row, following the stitch pattern as shown. All chain spaces from the previous row are skipped. Refer to the chart for crocheting. At the end, pick up the turning chain from the previous row, count up 4 chains from the bottom. Pick up both loops of the chain, work 1 treble crochet. Then chain 1, cut the yarn. This completes the 5th round. For the next row, row 6. Join the yarn from the wrong side of the last treble crochet of row 5. Then work single crochets corresponding to the stitches and chain spaces of the previous row. Remember to pick up the turning chain from the previous row at the end. Work 1 single crochet in the 3rd chain from the bottom. After completing, continue to row 7. Begin with a single crochet increase. Then work single crochets corresponding to the stitches of the previous row. Cut the yarn at the end. Everyone refer to the pattern and complete these 2 rows. Note that after completing row 7, you can measure the fabric dimension against the chart. if the size differs significantly. Adjust your tension or change hook size and recrochet. For the next row, row 8. The crocheting method is similar to row 1, only the placement of stitches is slightly different. Join the yarn in the last single crochet of the previous row, then work following the chart. Pay attention and don't make a mistake on the ending stitch. For large sizes, you'll encounter a treble crochet 2 in 1 at the end of this row. I'll use this swatch to demonstrate this stitch. Work 2 treble crochets in the same stitch. Done, the TR2 in 1 is completed. Row 8 is now complete. Next is row 9. Make a 2-chain beginning chain, as the turning chain for half double crochet counts as 1 HDC. Then turn the work. Work 1 half double crochet in the first stitch on the left. Continue following the chart from here down. After completing, cut the yarn. Note, for large sizes, start row 9 with a 4-chain beginning chain. Refer to the chart and finish this row accordingly. Row 9 is now complete. This is what the swatch looks like after completing row 9. We'll consider rows 2 through 9 as one pattern. Repeat for the remaining rows in body section 1. Work the corresponding row numbers. Pay attention and match the edge stitches to the chart, don't crochet them wrong. At the end of some rows, insert your hook into the beginning chain, crochet into both strands of the top chain. Just follow your own chart accordingly. No need to cut the yarn at the end. When crocheting the small size, you'll encounter a double crochet increase. Below I'll demonstrate this stitch using the swatch. A double crochet 2 in 1 means working 2 double crochets in the same stitch. And that completes the DC 2 in 1. The large size will also have this stitch in later rows. Just follow this demonstration when crocheting. Note that for certain rows in section 1 of the large size body piece, when the beginning chain and the second stitch are in the same position, first make the beginning chain, then turn the work, then work the second stitch in the corresponding position. Make sure not to crochet in the wrong spot. That concludes the explanation for section 1 of the body piece. Now let's move on to section 2 of the body piece. During the back and forth rows in section 1 of the body piece, the new stitch techniques used for both small and large sizes are single crochet decrease and treble crochet decrease. The small size also uses the new stitch technique of slip stitch. Half double crochet and double crochet work together in the same stitch. Both sizes will also use a new method called carrying the yarn across. It should be noted that the placement of new stitch techniques differs between small and large sizes. Below I'll continue demonstrating using the small size as an example. For the large size, you can first learn the crocheting method, then work following the chart. Now please watch the demonstration. Begin with row 1. Start by carrying the yarn across. Pull up a large loop. Thread the yarn ball or fabric through the loop. Tighten the yarn tail. Then locate the starting position. Work on the wrong side. Pay attention to keeping the carried yarn close to the fabric. This completes the yarn carry. Make 1 beginning chain to start. Single crochet in the left stitch. Continue downward following the chart. Complete the row. Cut the yarn to finish. That's it for the first row. Now work the second row. Everyone follow the chart and crochet up to before the slip stitch at the end. The swatch has already reached the corresponding position. Make 1 slip stitch. In larger sizes you'll also encounter slip stitches in later crocheting. Just crochet as demonstrated here. This completes the second row. The third row begins with carrying the yarn across. After completing that, continue working single crochets in the corresponding stitches. Cut the yarn at the end. Everyone finish this row. That's it for the third row. Moving on to the fourth row. First refer to the pattern and crochet up to the end. 1/2 double crochet and double crochet cluster remaining. The swatch has reached the corresponding position. Work 1/2 double crochet and double crochet cluster. At the corresponding position, first make 1 incomplete half double crochet, yarn over and draw through, yarn over and draw through. The incomplete half double crochet is done. Then work an incomplete double crochet in the adjacent stitch. Yarn over and insert the hook. Yarn over and draw through. Then yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. The incomplete double crochet is completed. Finally, yarn over and draw through all loops on the hook at once. This completes the half double crochet and double crochet cluster. The braid on the upper right is its stitch. Row 4 is completed. Continue to crochet row 5. Make 1 beginning chain to start. Turn the work. Then work a single crochet decrease. In the first stitch, make an incomplete single crochet. Insert the hook into. Yarn over and draw through. The incomplete single crochet is done. Then work another incomplete single crochet in the chain space on the left side. Finally, yarn over and draw through all loops in once. The single crochet decrease is completed. The braid on the upper right indicates its stitch. Continue crocheting downward following the chart. Cut the yarn to finish. So row 5 is now explained. For rows 6 and 7 next. Just continue crocheting as demonstrated earlier. Pay attention to the stitch techniques on the edge side. Refer to the chart and don't make mistakes. Break the yarn after completing row 7. Everyone refer to the chart to crochet. For row 8 going down, first follow the chart to crochet. End with 1 treble crochet decrease. Now I'll demonstrate this stitch technique using a swatch. At the corresponding position, first make 1 incomplete treble crochet, yarn over the hook twice and insert into. Yarn over and draw through. Now there are 4 loops on your hook. Then yarn over. Pull through the first 2 loops twice in sequence. That completes the incomplete treble crochet. Make another incomplete treble crochet in the left stitch. Finally, yarn over and draw through all loops in once. Treble crochet decrease is completed. Row 8 is also completed. For the remaining rows going down, continue to follow the chart to crochet. Pay attention that on some rows the ending stitches are worked into the stitch next to the beginning chain. Everyone follow your own chart to complete the last row. Once the last row is completed, chain 1 and fasten off the yarn. Then weave in the yarn tail along the texture of the wrong side of the fabric. Finally, trim off any excess yarn tails. Section 2 of the front body. Just weave in any remaining yarn tails that haven't been secured. That concludes section 2 of the front body. The right front is now fully explained. Next we'll move on to the left front. Divided into section 1 and section 3 of the body. Start with section 1 of the body. Begin with a foundation chain. Work back and forth in rows, switching colors during the process. The method is similar to that of the right front, only the first row is slightly different. Next I'll use a swatch to demonstrate the crocheting method for row 1 of the large size left front body. Small size can refer to the pattern. Now, let's show. First make a foundation chain with the corresponding number of stitches. The swatch has fewer stitches. After completing, check the stitch count. Then chain 4 to start this round, which counts as 1 treble crochet. Next count to the left side of the yarn on the hook, into the 6th chain. Pick up the back loop and work 1 double crochet. Then continue to follow the chart and crochet the corresponding stitch pattern. That's the end of row 1. For the remaining part of section 1 on the front body, continue to crochet following the chart. Pay attention to the beginning and ending stitches, don't crochet them incorrectly. Everyone should follow their own pattern chart accordingly. As you work, you can fit well with the right front piece while crocheting. This helps avoid large dimensional differences, which could affect the finished product's appearance. That concludes the explanation for section 1 of the body. Next, we'll learn section 2 of the body. Continue working back and forth on section 1 of the body. The method is similar to that of section 2 on the right front piece. For all sizes, you'll encounter double crochet decreases while crocheting. They're just placed at different positions. Now I'll demonstrate the double crochet decrease technique using a swatch. Make 2 incomplete double crochets at the corresponding position. Then yarn over and draw through all loops in once. The double crochet decrease is complete. Continue working back and forth from here. Pay attention to the edge side, follow the chart carefully and don't make mistakes. Everyone continue crocheting according to your own pattern. That concludes the explanation for section 2 of the body piece. The left front piece is now also complete. Move on to crocheting the back piece. It's divided into section 1, section 2 and section 3. We will start from foundation chain, working back and forth in rows. First crochet section 1. The method is similar to section 1 of the right front piece. After completing it, work back and forth on section 2. Then continue crocheting section 3 of the body piece. Pay attention, the crochet method from row 1 is slightly different. From now on, I'll demonstrate using the small size as an example. For larger sizes, you can learn first, then follow the chart to crochet accordingly. Now, let's show. Everyone first refer to the pattern and finish the last row of section 2. The swatch has reached the corresponding position. After completing the chain stitch at the end of the last row, section 2 of the body piece is completed. Then continue to crochet row 1 of section 3 of the body piece. Make 4 chains as beginning chain. Then turn the work. Next, pick up from the top loop of the 6th chain counting leftward on the left side of the yarn and make 1 treble crochet. One chain. Then continue crocheting the remaining part following the chart. That's it for row 1. For the remaining rows of section 3, keep working back and forth in rows. Pay attention to decreasing stitches on one side. Everyone can follow their own chart for crocheting. That completes the explanation for the back body. Next, let's move on to the sleeves. There are 2 identical ones. We will start with a foundation chain. Crochet back and forth in rows. You'll need to switch colors during the process. The method is similar to that of the left and right front pieces. Now, let's show. First, make a foundation chain with the corresponding number of stitches. After completing it, crochet row 1. Make 1 beginning chain to start. Then return to the second chain from the hook on the left side of the yarn. Pick up the top loop of the chain and work 1 single crochet. Continue down, picking up the top loop of each chain, and crocheting the corresponding stitch pattern. After completing the last single crochet, crochet the corresponding amount of chains. Once the last chain is done, make one more chain. Pull tight. Cut the yarn. This completes row 1. Move on to row 2. Take the corresponding color yarn. Tie a knot. First, crochet the corresponding number of chains. After completing it, take row 1. First, turn to the wrong side. On the first chain stitch, pick up the back loop and work one single crochet. One chain. Then skip one stitch. In the next stitch, work one single crochet. From this row down, pick up the chain stitches from the previous row, crochet the corresponding stitch pattern. At the end, pick up the stitches from the previous row to crochet. Everyone refer to the pattern and finish this row. After completing the last treble crochet, do not cut the yarn. This completes row 2. We will take the right side of this row as the right side of the entire piece for row 3 next. Crochet the corresponding stitch pattern on the wrong side. At the end, continue with the corresponding number of chain stitches. Cut the yarn after completing. For row 4 onwards, the crocheting method is similar to row 2. First, work the corresponding number of chain stitches. Then pick up the back loop of the chains at the end of the previous row. Crochet the corresponding stitch pattern. Then work single crochets into the stitches or chain spaces of the previous row as indicated. Do not cut the yarn after completing. Everyone follow the previous demonstration. Refer to the chart to crochet the remaining rows of the sleeve. Continue working back and forth in rows. Pay attention to the ending row numbers. Skip stitches at the end of some rows. Do not work. For some rows, join the yarn at the corresponding position and crochet. The specific positions are all marked on the chart. Just refer to the chart to crochet. The other sleeve is worked in the same way. That completes the explanation for both sleeves. Now proceed to joining together. First, match up the shoulders of the front and back bodies. Use a method alternating one chain and one slip stitch to join. Place both fabric pieces with the right side facing out. Align the beginning and ending positions of the shoulders. When you reach a beginning chain, pick up any 1-2 strands from the edge of the chain and crochet a slip stitch. When the edge is single crochet, work a slip stitch into the gap along the edge of the single crochet. When you encounter half double crochet or treble crochet, simply pick up 1-2 strands from the corresponding stitch edge and crochet a slip stitch. The number of chains between slip stitches can be adjusted according to your preference, as long as the right side texture looks neat and pleasing. Below is a video demonstration showing the method of joining rows alternately. You can learn it first, and then apply the joining technique according to your actual project. Please watch the demonstration. Here I'll demonstrate using a swatch. The method for joining rows together. With the right side of the piece facing out, align the positions to be joined. If you have stitch markers, use them to evenly mark the positions. If you don't have any, you can use paper clips or safety pins instead, or mark with yarn as well. If you're able to join neatly, you may not need to mark at all. You can start joining from the cast on edge side, or from the end side. First, attach the yarn at the rightmost row of the front piece. At the edge position. If it's the ending position, you can hook into the top of the beginning chain or into the stitch. If it's a starting point like this, You can insert the hook into the stitch to join the yarn. Take 2 fabric pieces, and place them side by side, one on the left and one on the right like this. I'll start joining the yarn from the cast-on edge of the left piece here, to begin joining together. Take the yarn, then attach the yarn. Then crochet a chain as a transition. The number of chains here, you can also adjust according to your preference. The more chains you make, the wider the connecting area will be. In this sample, crochet 1 chain stitch. Slip stitch into the edge of the right fabric piece. Here, for neatness, place the yarn on the left side of the hook. Insert from the front. I'm inserting into the first row's edge, at the single crochet's placement. Do not tighten the slip stitch. You can also adjust the stitch technique and direction of insertion based on your preference. According to your personal preference, continue crocheting chain stitches. Then go back to the left fabric piece. Pick a suitable position, meaning where the chain will likely reach after completing the chains. Make 1 slip stitch. If there are more chains, then the interval between connections can be slightly increased. Continue crocheting chain stitches. Connect at the corresponding position on the other side. Repeat this process. Choose suitable positions on the left and right pieces to connect. Observe whether the fabric lies flat as you connect. If it's not flat, adjust the insertion point promptly. When you encounter a large number of chains, like this along the way, you can pick up 1-2 strands from the chain and crochet into them. Skip 1 stitch between each connection, connecting every other chain, or connect according to your personal preference. Once the connection is complete, cut the yarn. This method of joining rows is now done. After joining the shoulders, next, join the two sides of the sleeve. You can press the sleeve flat at the middle position. Match the edge at the starting point with the edge at the ending point. Here, attach the yarn at the ending edge. Then pick up stitches, or chain spaces, alternate crocheting one chain and one slip stitch to join. There's no strict requirement for the insertion point of the slip stitch. Pay attention to insert from the front side. When crocheting the slip stitch, the number of chains can also be adjusted according to your preference. Just make sure the fabric pieces are joined flat, and the right side texture looks neat. You can also join in a way that suits your habit. Below is one method using alternating chain and slip stitch for joining. Once you've learned the technique, you can apply it based on actual conditions. Please watch the demonstration. Start with the shoulder connection. Here I'll demonstrate using a swatch. This way of connecting stitch positions. Align the corresponding positions to be joined. Use stitch markers to secure a few points. Match the beginning and ending. Align the fabric pieces evenly. Try to match the textures as closely as possible. Keep the right side of the piece facing out. Take the corresponding yarn. Make a knot. First on the front side. Join yarn in the first stitch on the right edge. You can start connecting from either end. If it's a stitch, simply insert the hook into the stitch. If it's a beginning chain, pick up both strands of the top chain of the beginning chain to join yarn. Then crochet a chain for transition. The number of chains here, you can also adjust according to your preference. The more chains you make, the wider the connecting area will be. In the sample, crochet one chain stitch. Slip stitch in the first stitch on the back piece edge. For a neater look, place the yarn on the left side of the hook. Insert from the front. Do not tighten the slip stitch. You can also follow your own preference. Adjust the joining stitch technique and the direction of insertion. Continue crocheting chains. Return to the current piece. Pick a suitable position, meaning where you would roughly reach after completing the chains. If there are more chain stitches, then the interval between joins can be slightly larger. In the sample, skip one stitch for the connection. If the joining positions are not on the same row, just choose a roughly suitable position, as long as the pieces align evenly and lie flat after joining. Continue crocheting chains. Join at the corresponding position on the other side. Pay attention to the direction of insertion. Carry the floating yarn across and weave it in together. Repeat this process. Select suitable positions on the front and back pieces for joining. If you encounter a chain space, just join normally. Once the last two corresponding positions are joined, cut the yarn. Weave in the beginning and ending tails on the wrong side. Go ahead and finish it up. That concludes the explanation of stitch position joining. After both sides of the sleeve are joined, do not cut the yarn. Next, connect the sleeve to the corresponding positions on the front and back bodies. The method is similar to the previous joining technique. You can press the sleeve seam flat at the joining point. Align the edge of the middle row with the shoulder joining point. Match the sleeve seam to the underarm position on the front and back bodies. Use stitch markers to secure the position if needed. Then begin joining from the underarm area. Pick up corresponding stitches or chain spaces on the front and back bodies. On the sleeve, pick 1-2 strands from the edge stitches of the corresponding row. Work a slip stitch. Chain 1 between them. Adjust the slip stitch insertion point as needed during joining. Make sure the fabric is even, and lay flat when joining. Repeat this process all the way to the underarm. Once done, don't cut the yarn. Finally, use the same yarn from before to join the two sides of the body. Just follow the same method used for the sleeve seams. Pay attention to work on the right side. After completing, fasten off and weave in ends. That concludes the explanation for one side. Complete the other side using the same method. That's all for the joining explanation. Now let's learn the overall front band. Work a full round around the garment, using new stitch techniques. Treble crochet 4 together. CH3 picket. Next, I'll continue demonstrating with the small size as an example. Larger sizes first learn, then follow the chart to crochet. Now, let's show. R1. Take the corresponding yarn. Find the joining point between the left front and back body. Join the yarn at the joining point. Make one beginning chain to start. Work one single crochet at the joining position. Then pick up the gap of the left single crochet stitch. Work one single crochet. Note, larger sizes should join the yarn in the gap of this single crochet before starting to crochet, and larger sizes must skip the joining points on both sides of the body and leave unworked. After completing, work one single crochet in the gap of the left single crochet stitch. Once done, pick up the left side beginning chain, and work 3 single crochets. Then pick up the stitch pattern of the next row, on the left and work 3 single crochets. Continue down, working single crochets into the corresponding gaps of the single crochets. For the edge of the back body, pick up the stitches along the row edge, and work the corresponding number of single crochets. Keep going to continue crocheting. After finishing this side, check if the fabric lies flat. If it's not flat, adjust the placement of the stitches and continue crocheting. Pay attention. You also need to work one single crochet at the joining point on the other side. Continue down, picking up stitches along the edge of the right front piece. Once completed, reach the edge of the last row of the right front piece. Pick up the first left stitch of the single crochet and work 3 single crochets. Then work 3 single crochets corresponding to the next left stitches. Then work 1 single crochet decrease. Continue down, picking up stitches, and working the corresponding number of single crochets. Then work 1 single crochet decrease. On this side, pick up stitches along the edge and work single crochets. Work 1 single crochet decrease every few single crochets. Pay attention, on the last stitch of this row, work 3 single crochets in the same stitch. Continue down, picking up stitches along the edge of the rows and working single crochets. When you reach the position of a slip stitch, pick up the chain formed by the slip stitch, and work a single crochet. When you reach the shoulder joining point, skip the shoulder joining point and leave unworked. Then continue picking up stitches along the edge of section 2 of the back body and work single crochets. Going down, skip the shoulder joining point on the other side and leave unworked. Then pick up stitches along the row edges of the left front piece and work single crochets. Pay attention to the first and last stitch positions of the final row on the left front piece. Both ends at these stitch positions. Work 3 single crochets in the same stitch. Then continue picking up stitches and working single crochets and single crochet decreases. As you crochet, compare with the right side while working. To prevent asymmetry between the two sides, which could affect the appearance of the finished product. Then continue picking up stitches along the row edges of the left front piece and crocheting single crochets. As you work, check from time to time whether the fabric lies flat. Adjust the insertion point of the single crochet as needed. After completing each section, check the number of stitches against the chart. Make sure the stitch count matches the diagram. Repeat this process. Complete the entire round. Finally, make 1 slip stitch in the first stitch. The circle shown in the diagram indicates, pull tight. Do not cut the yarn. This completes the first round. Move on to crochet the second round. Chain 4 to start this round. Counts as 1 treble crochet, corresponds to the stitch below. Then skip 2 stitches. Work 1 treble crochet in the next stitch. Then make 1 picket of 3. Abbreviated as picket from now on. Work 3 chains. Then insert the hook into the front loop of the treble crochet, that is, the strand closer to you, and the strand on the left side. Make 1 slip stitch. Not to pull too tight. This completes 1 picket stitch. Then chain 2 as a bridge. Work 1 DC4 tog. starting from the same insertion point below. Correspondingly make 4 incomplete treble crochets. Finally, yarn over and draw through all loops on the hook. The treble crochet 4 together is complete. The braid on the upper right is its stitch. Then make 1 picket stitch. First work 3 chains. Pick up the front loop of the DC4 tog and the 4 strands on the left side. Work 1 loose slip stitch together. For subsequent picket stitches worked on the DC4 tog, repeat this process. Then work 2 chains as a transition. Then make 1 treble crochet decrease. Pay attention to the first incomplete treble crochet, work it into the same insertion point below. Then skip 2 stitches. In the next stitch, make 1 incomplete treble crochet. Finally, yarn over and draw through all loops in once. That completes the treble crochet decrease. Then make 1 picket stitch. After completing the chain stitch, then pick up the front loop of the treble crochet decrease, along with the 2 strands on the left. Work a loose slip stitch together. That completes the picket stitch at the treble crochet decrease position. Then work 2 chains as a transition. Continue by alternately making 1 DC4 tog and 1 treble crochet decrease. After each stitch, make 1 picket stitch and 2 chains as a transition. Repeat this process to continue crocheting. When reaching the corner position of the right front, first work 3 chains. Then make 1 treble crochet decrease. Note that in this treble crochet decrease, the incomplete treble crochets are separated by 1 single crochet. After completing, make 1 picket stitch. Then work 3 chains. The corner position is now completed. Continue crocheting following the chart. Pay attention that for the small size, when crocheting along the edges of the left and right front panels, in some treble crochet 4 stitches together. After completing the first 2 incomplete treble crochets, skip 1 stitch, then correspondingly make 2 incomplete treble crochets. The exact positions are all marked on the chart. Just follow the chart accordingly. Also pay attention to the corner positions of the right front and left front panels. The number of chains on each side of the treble crochet decrease is different, and the number of single crochets between the incomplete treble crochets varies. Refer to the chart carefully to avoid mistakes. Then continue picking up stitches along the left front and back panels to crochet. Follow this method until you're done. After completing the last 2 chain stitches, make 1 slip stitch into the stitch of the treble crochet. Pull tight. Chain 1, then break the yarn. Weave in the ends. This completes round 2. And the entire front band is also completed. Next, let's take a look at the sleeve cuffs. There are 2 sleeve cuffs along the row edges of the sleeves, crocheting in rounds counterclockwise. The method is similar to that of the front band. You can join the yarn on the left side of the sleeve joining point. Pay attention not to crochet at the joining point. Then refer to the pattern to crochet the corresponding stitch patterns. Finally, cut the yarn and weave in ends. Complete the sleeve cuffs as instructed. That concludes the explanation for the sleeve cuffs. Next, sew on the buttons, evenly spaced between the 2 corners of the front band on the left front piece. A total of 5 buttons are sewn on evenly. Now I'll demonstrate the sewing method using a small sample. Cut a 3/0 cm length of yarn, matching the color of the front band. Thread it into a blunt needle. Take 1 button. Sew it at the corner position of the edge. First, insert from the inside. Tie a knot and come out on the right side. Then sew on 1 button. Pay attention, the pointed end of the button should face downward. Next, sew through the button's holes. Finally, tie a knot on the inside. Weave in the end and cut the yarn. That's how 1 button is securely attached. Repeat this process for the remaining buttons, evenly spaced along the edge of the front band on the left front piece. Make sure all your buttons are sewn on. That concludes the explanation on attaching buttons. Up to this point, the entire process of making this garment has been explained. If you still have unclear parts during crocheting, don't hesitate to join our Facebook group to get supports. Susan's Family, supporting your handwork experience, sharing the joy of life. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next episode.